What's up, guys? So today I want to do a little quick comparison of the S22 versus the S21 and talk about the differences. So if you live in the United States, I would suggest to get the S22. There are a couple of benefits, and plus it's only $50 more, and you will get, longer software updates, and there's a few other things here as well too. But as you can see, if you can spend, just 50 more bucks and get the S22, Amazon, eBay. Now, if you live overseas, I understand that there is probably a bigger price gap. So you might be looking at the S21 and trying to figure out, well, do I really need to spend that extra money, or will you just be satisfied, with the S21? Do you really need to spend them extra money to get the S22? So let's go ahead and talk about this. All right, hardware wise, there is kind of a big difference here. So the S22 has a glass back and the S21 has a plastic back on it. So the S22 feels a little bit more premium. They both have that matte finish to them as well too, which is really nice. And they both have pretty much the same camera cutout as well too. One thing I noticed with the hardware here is that the S21 is a little bit taller than the S22, but I think the S22 is a little bit, just a tad bit thicker, just by a little bit. And also, the S22 weighs a little bit more because it has that metal back. Even though the S21 actually has a bigger battery, so you would think it would weigh more at the 4,000 milliamp battery, but this one has a 3,700 milliamp hour battery, and but it's just that metal makes it feel a little bit heavier. But yeah, those are the essential hardware differences. Again, not really too much. You do have IP68 dust and water resistant on both of these as well. Another kind of interesting thing that Samsung did here with the displays is that the S21 actually has a slightly bigger display. It's a 6.2 inch display, and the S22 has a 6.1 inch display. So it is a little bit bigger. Again, not crazy noticeable, not that big of a deal, but that is something that I thought was a little bit strange that they went backwards on the display size here. But yeah, so you have the dynamic AMOLED display on both of these. 120 Hertz HDR10 Plus is on both of these as well too. They have the same brightness as well, the same max brightness at 1300 nits, and then you also have a 1080p display with a 400 plus PPI. So very good displays on both of these phones. Like I said, they're pretty much identical in terms of max brightness, quality. There's really not that big of a difference besides this very minor display size. So not too much going on with the displays when it comes to comparing them. I do want to talk about the software because this is a pretty big thing here. So both of these phones are running Android 14 One UI 6.1. The last majorOS update for the S21 is going to be Android 15. You are going to get more Android updates with the S22, so you will get the AI features as well too on the S22 as well. So if we go to advanced features, this has pretty much all the AI features that you got on the Galaxy S24. So this was a pretty big update for older Samsung phones. So you have, you can just look at my video I did on it, but there's quite a bit going on here with the AI stuff. The only AI feature that the S21 got was the circle to search, but that's it. It didn't get any of the advanced intelligence features. So definitely that could be a big deciding factor whether you want to save your money up and enjoy the Galaxy AI features. So that's definitely something you have to think about. But as far as the overall experience, you still pretty much have essentially the same stuff here as far as the software, desktop support, secure folders. Everything else is going to be on here software wise for the most part, besides those AI features. Now, the processors on these two phones. So the S22 has the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 128 gigs of internal storage, 8 gigs of RAM. You have the Snapdragon AAA processor on the S21, 128 gigs and 8 gigs of RAM. As you can see, the score difference is not much. Yeah, there's not much going on with the score difference. It's only a 1 gen, upgrade. And yeah, that's why I don't really pay too much attention to benchmarks. Now, a lot of people want to know about, do these phones overheat and do they crash and stuff like that. These phones do not really, I don't have a problem with like overheating and stuff like that, because I'm not like a very heavy user. I'm not doing like heavy stuff on my phones. But these phones, yeah, they will get a little bit warmer than I would like. I've never had the crashing issues, but even with the Gen 1, the AAA, they are going to get warm regardless. So it doesn't matter which one you buy. These phones are going to get warm. But it depends on how you use the phone. If you're in the camera a lot, you know, you're shooting 4K video, or you're doing like some intense stuff on your phone, then yeah, they're going to get a little bit warm for sure. But like I said, I've never had an issue with performance on these phones. So yeah, so I can't really say, you know, that they're going to crash and stuff like that, because I just haven't had that issue. And the One UI 6.1 update definitely has helped quite a bit with standby time on these phones as well too, and performance as well. Performance on these phones has gotten really good with just the One UI 6 update in general. Animations, everything is just super smooth here. So the gaming performance, like I said, you can't really go wrong with either of these phones. Obviously the S22 is the more powerful phone as far as benchmarks go, but when you're actually in the game playing it, there's not really a real difference with performance. Like I said, they both will get a little bit warm, but it's not really that big of a deal. If anything, well, yeah, nah. But you can see they're both playing in PUBG at 90 frames. And this is across the board: Call of Duty, Fortnite, whatever you pretty much play. These phones are extremely similar in terms of performance for the most part. For the average person, you really won't notice that much of a difference when it comes to performance here. Let's check out these speakers at max volume, see if we have any type of upgrade. Start with the S21. Yeah, they pretty much sound identical, so no real upgrade when it comes to speakers. They both have the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner as well too, so they're both pretty fast when it comes to, you know, unlocking your phone, so no difference there. The biggest difference you'll see with these two phones, I think, is actually with the cameras. So the S21 has a 12 megapixel standard, a 64 megapixel telephoto, 3x hybrid zoom, and then you also have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. It shoots in 8K 24, and then a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. The S22 has a 50 megapixel standard lens, 10 megapixel telephoto with 3x optical, 12 megapixel ultra wide with 8K 24 as well, with a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. So let me know if you guys see the actual difference here when it comes to the photos. comes to battery life on these two phones, so battery life is just kind of average on these two phones. I wouldn't really say the S22 is significantly better. These phones are okay if you are, a lighter user. You can definitely get through the day with these phones. But if you're doing a little bit more intense stuff like taking a lot of photos, videos, these are phones that you definitely are going to have to charge for sure. So the S22 has a 3700 milliamp hour battery, 25 watt charging. You do have wireless and reverse wireless charging. The S21 has a 4000 milliamp, also with 25 watt charging. Also the wireless and reverse wireless charging. So again, my battery experience hasn't really been that drastically better. If you're looking for like a smaller phone with really good battery, you would have to really save your money and upgrade to the S23, because that's where you'll see a significant difference in terms of screen on time. But yeah, these phones do okay when it comes to the battery life. So that is pretty much it. I think if you can afford the S22, I think you should definitely go ahead and get it, because I think it's a good phone to have. The AI features and the extra software update as well too. So yeah, so definitely if you can get it for extra $50, get it. But if you can afford the S21 and you're not really that impressed with the S22, I would say get this phone. You still get Android 15. It's still overall solid phone. So let me know what you guys think. What are you guys going to do? And I'll catch you guys in the next one.